This will be a brief introduction video to a forest manufacturing, well, it's a rather special machine. We'll just call it a sample saw. This saw is purpose-built for a customer who is working with laboratory test specimens of very special foam. We the lay people may take foam for granted, but it is very particular in terms of its density, its thermal properties, how much heat it'll allow to pass, its flame spread, whether if it catches fire, will it catch fire, and if so, how quickly the flame will spread. All manner of special properties in foam that the chemists work very hard to put into it so we, the consumers, will be safe. But they need to make testing specimens. That is what this bandsaw is for. So the customer is working with blocks of foam. I believe they're 12-inch cubes. Need to cut off relatively thin sheets and need a lot of them. They need them to be quite precise. That's what this machine is for. The basic machine is built on our top shelf model 204 pneumatic. So this machine is built with two 20-inch diameter wheels. Allows me to run a blade up to 1 inch wide. Blade speed on this machine is fixed at 3,000 feet per minute. So that we know we are properly tensioning the blade. This machine has our pneumatic blade tensioning system. You may not be able to see it from your angle, but the blade tensioning mechanism is based on an air cylinder. The air cylinder is controlled with again, on the back where you can't see it, manual air control valve. So I flick the valve. Blade goes slack. You can either change the blade or just leave it slack overnight. Flick the switch back and it goes tension. The actual force applied to the blade is controlled with an air pressure regulator. Again, back here where you cannot see it. But I provide a chart for a given size blade, in this case a 1 inch wide, I believe 042 thick blade, and to achieve a certain tension, in this case about 18,000 psi. You just set the pressure regulator till the gauge shows what the chart tells you, 60 psi. Set the gauge at 60 psi, you don't have to worry about it again. Your blade tension will be set correctly forevermore, unless you need to change blade sizes or want to tweak your blade tension for some reason. The blade is driven with a 2 horsepower, 3-phase brake motor. In this case, it's wired for 230 volt 3-phase. We are controlled with a magnetic motor starter with overload, so you can start and stop the machine from here. In addition, we have an e-stop button over here. Turns it off. Twist to release. The motor on this is a brake motor. So when I hit either stop button, the blade stops quite quickly. Second and a half from full speed to 0. We consider that a safety feature. You don't want to hit the stop button and have the machine spinning down quietly. The operators hit the stop button, mentally they think the machine is safe and shut down. They reach in there, they grab their workpiece. Perhaps they accidentally touch the blade. We don't want that. So that is the saw part. Then we have a special table and fence arrangement to support the workpiece. So we have a, for us, relatively small table. It is mounted, I believe it's a 16-inch travel, mounted on linear rail with recirculating ball bushing, so it gives a beautifully smooth and easy travel. Straight as straight can be. The table surface is 3/8 inch aluminum plate, so we have a nice, flat, smooth, corrosion resistance work table. So you can have your workpiece on here, make your cut. For positioning the workpiece, we have actually provided this machine with 2 of our precision workpiece positioning fences. On the left, we have a fence with an electronic digital readout. This can be used a couple different ways. You can use it as a set distance from the blade, so it'll show me that I'm touching the blade, or whatever unit you like, inches, millimeters, centimeters, whatever you program it in, and it will tell you how far the blade is. You can also use it as an incremental cut function. So I can come over here to the left, then maybe I make a cleanup cut on the workpiece so I have a reference surface. I can then zero the counter. If I hit 0, it'll show 0. I then move it, and if I'm trying to make, for example, a 3/8 inch thick sample cut, I just move it this direction, and hence the workpiece this direction until I show 0.375 on my digital readout, and I know my next cut will be 3/8 of an inch. Now I should point out, moving the workpiece 3/8 of an inch won't be enough. The blade I have on here is a 1 inch wide 6/2 per inch blade. It cuts out a channel of material. The technical name is the kerf, K-E-R-F. The kerf of the blade, the channel cut out, in this case, is about 0.35 inches. So if I want a resulting workpiece 3/8 inches thick, 0.375, I have to move the workpiece to 3/8, then an additional 0.35 to know that the finished workpiece I get between the two cuts is that finished 3/8 of an inch. So that's how you'll set your distance. On the other side, I have a second fence. This one moves in, and this can be used to basically sandwich the workpiece between the two blades, so you know it's not going to shift left and right. Whatever you have set as your target cut, you're going to repeat. For actually making the cut, the operator will turn on the saw, and I provided what I call a grocery cart handle. Simply push in, and you know you have a straight, accurate cut. You're not relying upon the operator touching the workpiece, sliding the workpiece across the table to make a cut. You're relying upon the linear round rail to hold the cut straight, the fences securing the workpiece so it doesn't move around, and the operator is back here holding the grocery cart handle instead of touching the workpiece when he makes the cuts. So you get a better cut result, and the operator gets to go home with all his or her fingers. So this is a special machine. Like I said, it is based on our standard model 204 pneumatic, but if you have a special application for a vertical blade or other vertical blade bandsaws, horizontal bandsaws, tilting head bandsaws, and you need a special application, we are happy to help you. Please feel free to call or email us here. Thank you and have a good day.